Well, hello everyone, and welcome to a fascinating time. Oh, come on, phone. Uh, just want to do a quick test to see what the audio's like. How's the audio with this? Oh, how is it on my phone? Okay, so game audio's playing and I'm talking. Let's see how loud this is. Okay, that seems alright. Right, so headphones on. Aha, my welcome to Constellation. This is the start. Let's get into it. New game. Confirm. Took about an extra hour to download. It's not the end of the world. Kind of annoying, but that's alright. Now, let's see how 4090 handles this game and recording. May 7th, 2330. Argos, extraction, mining outpost, moon of Vertica. Oh.
Seals are good. Oxygen's good. Just do what you did last time, and you're fine. Follow my one simple rule.
Don't die.
Hella, what's my one simple
Listen to
rule?
Lynn. Boss lady knows best.
Exactly. Listen to me. Mining's just like any other job. Go steady, go safe, go home with a pocket full of credits at the end of the day.
Yeah, totally. It's just like, now working the Stardock. Except, with more cave-ins, lasers, and accidental dismemberment.
Very helpful. Thank you.
You're gonna be fine. Your first outing was solid. And, let's be honest, it ain't exactly astrophysics.
That's why I keep him around. Good pep talks.
Yeah. And the fact that I can pinpoint a helium deposit from 300 meters.
Not untrue. A shame we won't find any down here. But the metal deposits alone should pay for our own helium. Hell, after this, we'll have enough jump fuel to bounce from one end of the settled systems to the next.
Hey, more minerals, more money. And so the cycle repeats itself. Just no more unauthorized jumps in the house for room space, okay?
He's just a big baby. There are worse lives. You know, most Dusties don't even make it this far. I have a good feeling about you.
Group hug now or at the end of the shift?
One of these days, Hella, I am going to leave you behind.
Promises, promises.
Okay, let's see what we've got. How are we on time?
A little longer. Grab some samples?
Always. But not you. Check on Isabel. Make sure she eases up on the breach. I don't feel like getting buried alive today.
Roger that.
Remember, Dusty, keep your breathing steady. And never take that helmet off down here. Oxygen processors don't extend this far.
Yeah, because God forbid we drill on a rock with breathable atmosphere.
Know what I love about working in Freestar Collective space? Fewer regs. A job like this in the United Colonies? Huh. Piece of red tape. Ugh. Look at this one over here. Calvert! No! No. It's a laser, not a sledgehammer. Ease up! Benning, if you got paid per break, you'd be a millionaire. Let's go!
Yeah, okay.
What do we say, Dusty? You make your cut, you get your cut. No exceptions. Come on, pick it up. Troy, what's the yield?
Minimal at this point. Occasional glimmer, but it's weak.
What do you think? Stay the course?
No, ma'am. Juice ain't worth the squeeze.
Well, okay then. Let's call this one tapped. Why don't you move over to that big vein we looked at?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we're miners? Cool. This is giving me very much Red Faction, like the original Red Faction vibes. Laser.
Dusty, you're up. Grab a cutter and mine what you can. Metal deposits are in that cabin. I'll shout out when I need you.
Sweet.
You think we'll be done here soon? Now I hear this is the last dig. Be glad when we're off this rock. I'm busy. Got anyone else to bother?
We're mining beryllium.
You're ready, boys. Get back up here.
How they sucker you to join? Fall for the fancy pamphlets? Lynn sure seems to like you. Guess you would know, being the boss and all.
Come on.
Take care of yourself.
It's time. You're with me.
Ooh.
Here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
This is cool.
Standard's reading a clean break. Shutting down.
Let's go. Keep moving. Ella, get the readings.
Yeah, about that.
Problem?
Not if you consider a spike in gravity readings a problem.
I don't.
You don't?
What we're after, it'll read as an anomaly. That's what I was told anyway.
Okay, now you're starting to freak me out.
Relax. It's just another job. Come on.
I don't like the way she said that.
We're getting close, I think. Yeah, everything is just... Lynn, seriously, there's something really effed up about this.
Where is it, Hella?
Through there, I think.
Okay, you're up. Something goes wrong in there, we'll come get you.
Why would anything go wrong?
Would you shut up? Both of you do your jobs. Client is on his way.
Well, nothing down there. Oh. Oh. Yeah. I do have to say that this is actually a very good looking like surface at the minute. And that audio, I don't quite know if it's coming across as well for you guys or anyone who watches this. The wind sounds like wind. Also, Bethesda have just made a game where I'm a miner. Not a young person, as in someone who digs up ore. They've basically made Minecraft for old
Still
people.
getting weird gravity readings. I guess that's a good thing. Just keep going.
I know the thing I'm here for is right behind me, but I really want to mine this. Right, well I think that's all the ore deposits now. Poke a thing. Poke it!
Dusty, snap out of it.
Uh-oh.
Hey, come on. Come on. Okay, take it easy. You were out cold. No physical damage. Mentally, the jury's still out. You know who you are? New recruit for Argos Extractors? Ring any bells? Any of this look familiar?
Some of these presets are wild. Oh my god. It's discount Aloy. Oh dear. That is a wild hairstyle. Right. I think we'll go with that. And body type. Yeah. About that pale. To be honest, my hair's not far off from that at the minute, except it's long, but that is my hairline. That'll do. Yeah, I'd say that's about mine. Hang on. 4 looks an awful lot like 2. Ah, no, 4's got more on the neck. I think we'll go with that. Eyes. Okay. Whoa. God damn. Yep. I look tired. Ah. Whoa. Okay. Brown. That'll do. I have kind of crazy eyebrows, although they're not as crazy as what's his name? Brezhnev. Russian former, well, I guess it would be the Soviet Union at the time. But he had crazy eyebrows. Guess like that. Oh my god. Ugh. Ah, that's probably more like it. Jawline. Oh god, you look like you have liver disease. Christ. Freckles. Yep. Okay. Beast Hunter, Ashtar, Bouncer. I like how there's just the blank slate, file not found. That's kind of amazing. Space scoundrel. I'm thinking soldier. Um, yeah, soldier. So, fitness, ballistics, boost pack training. Traits. You volunteered for a controversial experiment that combined alien and human DNA. As a result, you start with increased health and oxygen, but healing and food items aren't as effective. Dream home. Oh, fucking hell, that's a hell of a mortgage. Empath. Performing actions. Extrovert. Okay. Can't be combined with introvert. Hero worshipped. Introvert. Kid stuff. %2 of your credits. That's not a lot. Someone put a price on your head. No. UC native. Okay. Terra firma. Sanctum. Ah. Damn. Okay. See, I would love it if there were traits that were for being, I don't know, discharged from one side or the other for, I don't know, not following orders for any reason if you're playing as a soldier. Because I am siding with the Freestar Collective, I think. And then I'm thinking maybe kid stuff? Or introverted? What's Taskmaster do? Occasionally, if you have crew trained in a certain ship system, that system will automatically repair itself to full health whenever it is damaged below 50%. However, all crew cost twice as much to hire. Oh god. Yeah, kid stuff. Cool. Doug.
You were a good find when we hired you. Former military always knows how to get the job done. Well, you got the sample. Client's on his way, then we all get paid. You remember anything that happened?
I touched the thing and everything went black. Incredible like a dream. Everything went blank.
Huh. Well, makes the paperwork easier, and we got what we were looking for.
All this trouble for that stupid thing? Huh. Sure don't look like much.
Never mind what it looks like. It's worth more than this mine has pulled in all month. We'll be... Speak of the devil.
Someone just got a phone call. Something is really bugging me, and it sounds like in the game there is a fan on a bearing that is hitting a wire.
Our constellation
This
contact
thing.
is on approach.
Wait, the Explorers group? I thought they were kind of a joke.
Not a joke. You're just too young to know better.
Hey, I'm just saying they got a reputation. Hell, I bet half the crew here doesn't even believe they really exist.
Half the crew doesn't believe Earth exists, but it's still there. Same with Constellation.
Yeah.
Oh, that physics.
Exploring space? Who does that anymore? Ain't the space we've already got complicated enough?
Not to them, apparently. All right, Dusty. Airlock. Put your helmet on.
Tab. Inventory. Helmets. Can we just talk? Oh my god, there's physics in the menu. Oh, I love it. This is cool. Oh my god. Comms system. Gun platform. Oh. Oh, that boom when it came into Atmo. Oh, I found the walk key. Caps lock. Awesome.
Barrett?
Man,
Been a long time.
yes it has. That mine on Bendy, right?
Kazal, hellhole, like this place. Rare mineral contract. Your tastes are a bit more sophisticated now, huh?
So, you found something?
Right here. The new guy found it.
That right. And everything went cool? Just like grabbing those minerals on Bendy?
Kazal, and no Barrett, not cool. He passed out after the extraction. Doesn't even remember what happened.
Is that right, cowboy?
Whoa,
Went on a trip, huh?
that was a hell of a zoom. If you call it that, I guess.
That fun, huh? Not the most gentle push into the great mysteries of space, but hey, been there.
Look, just hand over the credits, and I'll be happy to never see this thing, or you, ever again.
That's why I like you, Lynn. All business.
Barrett, the scanners on the frontier are reporting a ship coming in hot from orbit.
Oh, there it is.
I really thought I lost them.
Barrett?
That's the Crimson Fleet!
Weapons! Everybody get ready!
I think I got myself a machine gun. Yep. And an axe. I don't know how effective an axe is going to be as an actual weapon, but... oh, I like that. Also, I like how the weapons have ammo counters.
Of course Barrett was being followed. Every time.
Oh dear.
Hey, you did good there. Kept your head.
We appear to have suffered fewer casualties than would be expected.
We're still in one piece. Oh god, I'm gonna throw up.
Don't throw up in your suit.
Now that was some fine work under pressure. You dug up the artifact, right? That means you saw it. The visions? You're coming with me to Constellation. You're part of this now.
I'm sorry. You're just gonna whisk me away? If they can tell me what this artifact of yours is, I'm in. Take me off the moon. What is Constellation anyway?
You ever stare up at the stars at night wondering what's out there? Well, that's us. That's where we go.
Well, I wasn't expecting this.
Hey, I wasn't gonna bring it up, but we don't exactly know what the artifact might have done to your head, and Constellation is really the only group qualified to help.
Oh, no, Barrett. No. You think you're just going to take off after the mess you caused?
All right. I guess I did just put you all on the Crimson Fleet hit list. How about I stay and I send your Dusty here in my place? I know, but he's not some miner anymore, Lynn. Soon as he touched that rock, something changed. Don't tell me you can't feel it.
Fine. It's a deal. Get out of here, Dusty. You're on to bigger things.
No way! Not my job! What about the mine? Don't you need me?
Now that we've been attacked, we've got to pack up and move on. Argos will come for the rest of us. You get going.
Thank you for everything, Lynn.
Just go. Before I say something I regret.
Well, now that that's settled. Vasco, get him to the lodge. No deviations unless absolutely necessary, okay? Protocol Indigo.
Indigo. Again. Very well.
Oh, and hey, take this. You'll find it very useful out there. And it even tells the time.
Hey! I got one of them. Cool.
Hey, look at that. The watch fits you perfectly. Now, questions?
Yes. You're giving me your ship.
Technically, it's not even mine. Consider it a loan.
What does that
Vasco
mean?
will keep you on course. Besides, I'm making an exception, since you can tell Constellation about that vision you had.
What is Constellation?
See, that's the problem with the settled systems. Too easy to take everything for granted. While everyone else is busy playing politics, we're the ones braving the unknown, charting the vastness of space. Without us, the galaxy is just a big room with the lights turned out.
What did I dig up?
That, my friend, is the million-credit question. And Constellation can find the answer. With your help.
Why is the Crimson Fleet after you?
They're just following the loot, like pirates do. And I have something of a reputation as a loot collector.
Why send me?
Come on. You really not at all curious about that light and music show you experienced? Why it only affected you? Because if you didn't notice, we've all been handling it since with no problem. The way I see it, Constellation needs that artifact, but they also need you. This mystery is only getting bigger each step we take. And you're part of it now.
Oh, because I touched the MacGuffin.
And Vasco, don't let him break my ship.
I thought you just said it wasn't yours.
Staying around isn't helping us out any.
Hey, I don't know how you kept your cool back there.
Simple. Squeeze. Don't pull. That's how you shoot.
Just up the ramp, Captain. I'll be in the external robotics bay. It appears you are the new captain of the Frontier. Captain Doug, Protocol Indigo is in effect.
Oh my god. What if you call yourself Captain? Would he just say Captain Captain? And can you get him to say it enough times that he gets into a recursive loop and shuts down? That'd be funny. Oh my god, it's a ladder. Nope, Bethesda still haven't mastered ladders.
Captain Doug, I assume you know how to fly a Class A starship. As Barrett likes to say, it's as easy as learning to ride a bike. I will attempt to boost the shields, just in case there are any difficulties.
Serial. Impact driver. Broken Constellation space helmet. Oh.
Oh, I'd kill for some chunks right now. First stop when I get home. But I really need to get better about packing snacks for these long hauls. Some rhubarb boom pop. Maybe some cereal. Irvin always made the best trail mix. Added in little marshmallows for stars. I miss that.
Aww. Vacuum tape instead of duct tape. Old Earth baseball! I'm leaving that there. Night wet. Naughty, naughty. Chunk's cap. Wait, Chunk! Do the truffle shuffle, Chunk! Oh wow. Oh, that is a cool ass door. Jump seats.
Shields ready. The rest is up to you.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Now that we are in orbit, it might be wise to test all controls and systems to ensure they are not on the verge of catastrophic failure. I can step you through the entire process, or if you're already an experienced pilot, just power up all the systems, and we'll be on our way.
Okay, hold left alt. Switch between systems now. Okay, power.
Each system on a ship requires power. Allocating power is under your direct control. Let's go over the engines. Engines control our maximum speed. Try increasing and decreasing our relative velocity. A ship's engine has a sweet spot for better handling during turns. Draw your attention to the HUD. You'll notice a speed indicator in the lower left with a gauge that goes up and down as you adjust the throttle. Try to center the gauge so that it lines up with the center of the vertical bars to its right. Boosts can be engaged for temporary bursts of speed. Let's turn our attention to the shields. Try adjusting power to the shields. Notice more power increases their strength. Shields protect the ship from hull damage. Without a hull, they'll be vaporized. Shield health is displayed in the lower right. Hull damage is below it. You've proven an adequate pilot. Are you familiar with ship combat tactics? Because that's a Crimson Fleet ship bringing its weapons to bear. We will need to disable their shields. Laser-based weaponry is particularly effective. If you can keep the enemy ship centered on the HUD, we can lock in to fire a homing missile. The enemy shields are down, Captain. Ballistic weaponry excels at damaging the hull once shields are offline. your first Starship assault, Captain. We should search the wreckage for spare parts and other salvage. You will need to fly close to it before we can access the remains. Crimson Fleet ships are jumping into our location, Captain.
Grab drive's out! Come on!
Ships are high enough to jeopardize our mission. In short, they are after the frontier and will not stop. We will need to deal with the local Crimson Fleet captain. A recent scan indicates an abandoned facility on the nearby moon of Crete, a perfect staging area for pirates.
Okay, interesting. Tab. Okay. Travel to Crete. Show on map. Okay.
Facility with our Crimson Fleet captain is on the surface.
Okay. Rotate the planet. Ooh. Look, it's like a pop-up hab. That's cool.
I'll follow you from here on out, Captain.
Oh, research lab lets you discover new crafting recipes by completing research projects. Requires material in order to make progress in. From raw materials extracted from planets, organic substances extracted from alien creatures and plant life. Okay. Let's see about guns. Okay. Ah. Oh, okay. So you need a perk as well. Interesting. Ah, I don't have any, whatever that is.
Captain Doug, Protocol Indigo, dictates that I am to return to the Lodge with no deviations. We are here to stop the Crimson Fleet from pursuit. Nothing more.
Why are the fleet after Barrett?
I have often asked Barrett that same question at various times, and about various individuals that wanted to cause us harm. The most likely answer is that Barrett personally insulted him, typically by continuing to live, usually after escaping from certain death, and often with an object multiple people wanted.
Just who are you and Barrett?
Constellation is an explorers society founded over 50 years ago with the mission of seeking out the unknown. Members often engage in expeditions in small groups, typically 1 or 2 people, or, like Barrett and myself, 1 person and 1 robot. The membership is intentionally limited and small. Should you join Constellation yourself, you will be the 10th active member.
Why is Barrett giving me a ship?
Barrett would say that billions of years ago, we were all one with the cosmos, so technically you have known each other forever. But the more practical answer is likely that he needs you. The number of known people who have been affected by the artifacts is now 2. Without your investment in Constellation's mission, he may never know more about the experience you both share. So, he is showing you trust in order to gain your support.
Oh, so he touched an artifact and got wibbly as well. Cool.
I will keep your items safe, Captain.
No, I'm alright. You can keep your ammo.
According to the scanners, the abandoned research facility is in this direction.
Can I? Special favorite. Actually. Oh look, it's one of those things from that demo.
Be careful, Captain. Alien creatures are often unpredictable.
Each unique item scan progresses your survey data of a planet. Completed survey data can be sold for credits. Awesome. Oh, I see. It highlights things you can scan in blue. That's cool. Ah, I found some silver. Nice. I'll have that. Thank you very much. Oh wow, this is just a giant ass deposit. So if you were going to build an outpost here, you could mine silver. Interesting. Oh yeah. That's rather cool. I wonder if I can scan those dead things I killed earlier. I can. I want to kill someone with my axe.
conglomeration of smaller, independent pirate crews, all flying under the same banner. They are typically unscrupulous and violent. While I am programmed for
Huh. I'm loving the ambient sounds. Oh my god, a rover.
markings, but we are in Freestar Collective space. It then stands to reason that this was once a secret UC facility.
Well, if it's a black site, that can't be anything good. Oh. Omega, the last days. Reminder, run.
Was beyond adequate.
Well, I'm gonna say that this place was a black site where they were working on biochemical weapons of some kind. To what effect? Not sure. Not that to be honest, it might not even matter. Red stick. Nice. Oh. Oh, he got wait. Did they space the whole goddamn place? They just opened the front door and killed everyone inside by opening the front door. That's kind of incredible. You'd think there'd be some kind of safety override. Got at least 3 in there.
Yeah, just keeping an eye on things like you said. What? Gonna take you apart!
Turns out glass is bulletproof.
Enemy damage registered.
Time to be a psychopath. Oh my god, it's a 3D printer, everyone. How do I get a new gun? What the? Oh, it's a laser pistol. Interesting. Ultra pasteurized for maximum freshness. Whatever that means.
Oh man,
Whoa! Fill in the open slots in every layer to open the lock. Select a key and rotate it until it lines up with the gaps in the security layer. Slot the key to fit into the gaps. Each key can only be used once. Whoa! Somehow I don't think the person made their 7:15 meeting.
Barrett and the Crimson Variant's room in my storage hole.
Ah. Oh my god, I love it. Oh. I just found a frag mine. Oh, and that. Let's add that to there. Add that to there, actually. There we go. Oh yeah.
The heck?
Shit.
It is a shame exploration requires so much bloodshed. We have lost them.
I don't know why, but I was expecting my character to huck a landmine like a grenade.
Your insistence on carrying so many things is reducing our travel speed.
I got space. Besides, I picked up a new laser gun.
You are trying to kill me, but I am not technically alive.
Let's end this. I'm out of here! Ah!
Well, at least the enemy, you know, sort of used cover.
I'm detecting a safe nearby. We could make use of whatever is inside, provided you had some digipics and a disregard for personal property rights.
Okay. Where is the safe? Ah! Fucking thing.
You're dead. We're all dead. The comms relay has been trashed. The whole room is trashed. We can't call for help. I can hear the terror morph roaring somewhere. And more people screaming.
Oh dear. Okay. Yay. What the? Oh, it's a stem. Cool.
I am capable of carrying additional supplies, if necessary. Captain Doug, allow me to assist.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Oh my god, it's even got a brand on the bottom. It's ridiculous. I love it. Oh, I'm definitely carrying way too much. Oh, it was all the weapons I was carrying. Ablative deep mining pack. What the hell is that? Ah. Physical damage, airborne corrosive, resist does. Yeah, I'll put that. Oh my god, that looks cool.
You gotta be kidding me. The Frontier has a new captain? You working with Barrett, or did you pry the ship keys out of his cold, dead hands?
What's your problem with Barrett anyway?
We don't have a problem with Barrett. We want that ship, the Frontier. If you're the captain of it now, that means we're after you. Oh, no. You see, maybe your colleague Barrett didn't tell you, but there's a bit of a legend surrounding that ship. That constellation keeps treasure hidden in the cargo bays, the loot from 100 planets, and it's going to be ours.
That statement is partially correct.
Oh, God
the
damn it.
Frontier has been to many planets and moons, but the only things held in the cargo bays are spare parts, dust, desiccated food particles, and a variety of species of ant.
I don't care what
Let's
kind
go.
of lies Barrett programmed that robot to say. We're taking that ship.
Don't suppose we could just agree to disagree, no hard feelings.
If he were here, Barrett would say he was proud of you for asking that.
The answer is no.
Ah well, time to die.
Open fire!
You stood next to a dying red crate!
Exterior plating damaged.
Shit.
You appear to be prioritizing our deaths over your own survival. Exterior damaged. No longer a viable option.
Just give up.
I do not feel pain. Right here. Terrible. You should now be free to travel to Constellation's headquarters without Crimson Fleet interference. I do not understand your attachment to all these objects.
Gonna need the resources eventually, Bosco. Oh, what the hell? Oh no, I appear to be fucking dying. I'm gonna die. Oh, because I'm carrying so much of the, Right. Okay,
We need to
interesting.
reach the Alpha Centauri. Do you require assistance?
Bosco, I'm a fat bastard and carrying too much. Alleviate me of some of my burdens, would you? Oh. Wow.
We should be free. I will happily carry whatever. Captain Doug, to reach the lodge, we must jump to the planet Jemison in the Alpha Centauri system, and then land in the city of New Atlantis. Do not worry, this will all become second nature before too long.
So not just a bulk storage thing on the ship. God damn. Wibbly 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 woo.
Starship Frontier, this is United Colony Security. Maintain course and prepare to be scanned. Scan complete. No contraband detected. You are cleared for landing at New Atlantis.
Guess that's where I'm landing.
And he's your new captain. My crew can take a look at your ship, and you can stop by the Trade Authority kiosk if you need to offload some cargo. Looks to me like you're already in pretty good shape.
Okay.
The Trade Authority runs a vending kiosk next to my booth. It's just off to the side, near the ramp. Besides that, Jemison Mercantile is your closest shop if you're looking for a bit of everything. That's further in, past the security checkpoint. I would try the viewport. It'll be on your left, once you get into the plaza. I'm sure you can find something you like.
That's a pretty sleek design. Oh, goddamn, that's big. She's a cargo hauler, I think.
Okay, no problem.
Whoa! Ship builder allows you to fully design, modify, and paint your ship. Floor gauge to the right tells you where new modules will appear. When the floor gauge is at 0, for example, new modules will be placed in the center mass of the ship. Building new ship modules will cost credits, and deleting them will give you the credits back. The ship builder will keep a running total and process the entire transaction at the end. There is a flight check that will give you warnings and errors if your design is invalid for any reason. Okay. This looks like a fairly complicated structure.
Everything looks good here. I'll be at my booth if you need me.
Hey, kind of breaking my concentration here.
Allow me to assist in carrying some supplies.
Thought so.
I can assure you this unprovoked attack on a United Colonies research facility will not go unanswered. We'll get you settled into your new assignments as soon as possible. For you, Bobby, that includes meeting your new foster parent.
My parents aren't dead. They just took a different shuttle. I'll see them when they get here.
Oh, well, of course, that's sure possible. We'll just...
Helena Chambers, ID SSCOM 1327 HCHA. I was the station administrator. I'll need to report to MAST ASAP for a full debrief. My treatment thus far has been entirely unacceptable.
Any authority you had was forfeit the moment House Varun zealots breached the station's perimeter, and you failed to initiate proper evacuation protocols. Thank you for your service. We'll find you a new position commensurate with your experience. And Mr. Bosch, let me just say how honored I am to meet you. By all accounts, you're the only reason anyone made it out of there alive.
Well, just glad I still remembered my flight basics. It had been a while. So was shooting a gun.
I read all about New Atlantis. So cool! Is it true the Nat train goes 5,000 miles an hour? Or that citizens get special discounts? Or that the whole city celebrates when it's your birthday? Mine's June 11th, by the way. My parents took me to Aquila City last week. It kinda smelled, but I don't smell anything here.
No, yes, no, and I will certainly mark June 11th on my calendar. As for Aquila City, well, the air purifiers here in New Atlantis are state-of-the-art.
Ugh, Aquila City? Oh, don't even get me started on those simpletons.
Little unfair, don't you think? Freestar Rangers helped me out quite a bit a couple years back. Got ambushed by spacers near Narion. They assisted, no questions asked. Even helped with some repairs so I could do an emergency jump home. Good people.
In any event, you all must be exhausted. Just give me a moment to coordinate some details with security.
Does that woman have any idea who I am? What? No, just, go away.
Guess you caught some of that, huh? The galaxy is at peace and somehow seems more dangerous than ever. Spacers, House Varun, Crimson Fleet, everyone trying to grab their piece. What happened to the early days, huh? When we just float through the stars and dream.
We could ruin a glass of water. Spacers? Who's that?
Really? You must have been hiding under a moon rock your whole life if you've managed to dodge those assholes. They're basically a bunch of space scumbags. Fly around, attack, and rob anyone they see. They're pretty disorganized and easy to fend off until they aren't. They're a different beast than the Crimson Fleet. Generally speaking, pirates want your stuff, so they can occasionally be reasoned with. Spacers, though, they tend to shoot first and ask questions never.
Ah. House Varun. Who dat?
Not what, who. How to describe House Varun? Well, imagine a bunch of colonists who set off into the stars ages ago, disappeared, and then re-emerged as a sort of religious society. Faction, or cult, whatever you want to call them. They believe in some sort of celestial deity called the Great Serpent. Real nightmare fuel kind of stuff. About 100 years back, they picked a fight with pretty much everyone in the settled systems. I guess your school never covered the Serpent's Crusade, huh? We eventually made peace, sort of. Then they just disappeared. They're out there, somewhere. Or so folks assume. The ones that attacked us, they were the hardliners, for sure. You meet those guys, you run. You understand me?
Okay.
Ain't that the truth? Well, still, I hold out hope. There are more good people than bad in this galaxy. It's just that the bad are... louder.
Yeah.
Yep, that I have. Had to dump a load of cargo just last year. Microscopes. Can you believe that? Guess you can sell anything these days. Pirates are a tricky lot. In space, they're all about the hit and run. They jump in, steal your stuff, and get out of there fast. Keep your cool, and you can generally talk your way out of it, so long as you're not too attached to your valuables. Stumble upon them planetside, though, and their trigger fingers get much itchier.
Who exactly are you?
Ricardo Bosch. I was the lead researcher on the station that got attacked. It was business as usual until those House Varun crazies swarmed in, spouting their scripture or whatever it was. Even the Marines were overwhelmed. Honestly, I'm just lucky to have made it out of there in one piece. We all are. Now, I just want to get back to work. Where is that woman?
Goodbye.
Another time, then.
Hello. I've never been in a battle before. Everyone kept telling me to keep my eyes closed, but it's kind of hard to do that when you're running. At first, I thought it was ecliptic mercenaries shooting at us, but it wasn't. It was these other people yelling about serpents and stuff. Yeah, it was like, snakes and serpents will eat you all, rah, the stars will squeeze you, rah, or something like that. I think they need psychiatric help.
You might not be wrong, boy. Why do you think it was Mercs?
When it comes to ecliptic, I know everything. It's not like it's a secret. They're mercenaries, so they work for money. And it's like, for enough money, they'll do anything. I've heard a couple of SSNN stories about them. My dad says they're horrible. Like they can pretend they're working for someone and it's official, so they do anything they want.
Can't imagine losing your parents. Hang in there.
It's fine. My dad just has terrible navigation skills. My mom says it all the time. I just hope they don't take too long. I'm sure that foster family is nice, but anyway, I'm fine now. I hope my parents don't take too long getting here.
Sergeant Hume is looking for reliable people to help the guard. Contact him if you're interested. We'd all appreciate it.
Oh, interesting. Go on, bully the robot.
You will be scanned as you enter the city. Please keep moving. Okay, no bounty. You're clear. Enjoy your visit.
I don't think the map's meant to look like that. Apparently it is. Oh, don't want to go in there yet.
There's a bit more in the back if you're not seeing something on display. Hi there! Thanks for stopping in. Feel free to look around. I can take care of transactions, and if you've got questions, just ask. Thanks. It's hard work, but it all pays off in the end. And I can't take all the credit. Gerhardt, my business partner, he does so much of the work behind the scenes. If it weren't for him, I don't know where we'd be now.
What you got?
Please, take a look.
Whoa! That is expensive though.
Thanks for shopping at Jemison Mercantile.
Captain, Constellation, I will accept any and all items.
If it belongs on your ship, then... Oh, please, take a look.
Canucked, pancakes, and maple syrup. With raisins too. Oh my god. What the fuck? That is an interesting chunk of cheese. Ah, they changed it. The orange juice used to injure you. Oh dear. Treats burns and frostbite. Interesting. That looks like very dense bread. A real tomato. Sorry, what the hell is that? Standard unit. Oh, it's a field ration. Weird. I like how it even has a warning, do not consume on it.
Appreciate the business.
The view. Interesting.
This is New Atlantis Transit, or the NAT. It provides free transportation throughout the city. We can take it directly to the Mast District.
One day, I'm gonna leave New Atlantis for good. I wonder if I'll miss New Atlantis when Tony and I leave. No, probably not.
Recommend anything?
Well, that depends. Are you a foodie or a shopper?
Shopper, I guess?
You should check out the commercial district. There's some cool shops there. And if you want a whole new look, there's even an enhance. Oh, hi there. I'm doing great. How about you? We've all been there, I think. Maybe you just need to find a goal to strive towards. I've been trying to save up enough money so that I can go explore the settled systems with my boyfriend, Tony. I think we're finally getting close.
You look a bit tired. Why are you leaving?
Tony and I want to see what else is out there. I love my job, but there has to be more to life than just being a janitor in New Atlantis. What about you? Have you gone on any adventures?
I keep getting shot at by pirates.
That's amazing. I'm so jealous. One day you'll have to tell me and Tony all about them, okay? Really? Well, I guess you're right. I'm feeling a bit run down. I really love my job, but it's hard work and long hours. I could definitely use a Terracino from Terra Brew right now. Really? That's so sweet. I really appreciate it. Take care of yourself.
It's raining. No one seems to care.
It seems like a small decision. They all add up over time, and it's paralyzing if you really stop and think about it.
Buddy, it's coffee. Pick one, get out of the way, and let us get on with our lives.
Yeah, sorry. Sure.
Fucking hell, that's some expensive ass coffee. Full 75 creds.
Feeling today's going to be a great day. Don't you agree? Oh, thank you so much. Soon I'll be coursing with bountiful energy. I'll be the most enthusiastic janitor in New Atlantis. Here, take this. I found it while I was cleaning. I figured you might find a use for it. Thanks again. I really appreciate it. I can't complain. My boss told me yesterday that I'm one of the best janitors she's ever hired. Feels great to be appreciated. See you around.
Fucking just drop a frag mine in the middle of the road.
The well's been having brownouts all the time. Mast finally sent someone down there, but nothing's changed.
Oh.
We may be in a United Colonies city, but Constellation is an entirely neutral entity, and always has been.
You don't need to wear your helmet on this planet. You know that, right?
I kinda did not. No.
Here we are, the lodge. The front door should unlock if you hold up the watch that Barrett gave you. I have messaged the other members of Constellation. They will be waiting for us inside.
Cool.
Captain Doug, everyone will be in the library, just inside. If Barrett were here, he'd probably tell you that you're part of something bigger now, and he hopes you'll make this place your home.
Oh, please. Ridiculous. Easiest bet I'll ever win.
You really think what I'm suggesting is so outlandish? All the phenomena we see out in the stars, and what I'm saying is the most impossible theory?
You two keep going on like this, and I'm banning wages. I'm serious.
We'll play nice. Just a little friendly conversation, Sarah. That's all.
Aw.
We appear to have a visitor.
Welcome to Constellation. We have a lot to talk about. Would you care to tell us what happened to our friend? Why you're here and he isn't? Very well. This is a private organization dedicated to exploration. Space primarily, but also anomalies throughout the settled systems. It's inherently dangerous work, so if one of our own doesn't show up as planned, then we tend to have questions. Speaking of which, where is Barrett?
Who are you?
Sarah Morgan, Chair of Constellation. That means anything you discussed with Barrett is my business. Now, if you would please answer my question.
Pirates.
I see. Vasco, verify.
All statements made have been factual.
This is just typical. Barrett hands over our ship and our robot to some random employee of that discount mining outfit he uses.
Walter.
And if we hadn't insisted on installing those emergency protocols, I guarantee you this rock breaker here would be halfway to Neon.
But that didn't happen. He's here with the artifact.
Thank you, Matteo. Now, let's focus on what's in front of us, shall we? what happened when it was extracted? Did anyone see anything? Hear anything? We think it's anyone else who pulls one out of the rock for the first time. Why? We're not sure yet. So if you wouldn't mind adding another data point. So something did happen. Barrett mentioned a loss of consciousness last time he found an artifact.
Are you hearing this? Do you all believe me now?
Whether it happened or not wasn't in doubt. But honestly, Country, if you expect us to believe in fairy tales...
If this is the greatest mystery in the universe, why couldn't it be part of the ultimate mystery?
But gentlemen, can we please focus? Noelle, I think it's time we tested your theory.
Right. Let's see. We know the artifacts react to each other. The pieces we already have move when they're in close contact. Now, if we add this new one to the two we already have...
The artifact. If you could place it on the table here.
That's it. Just like the others. And to imagine, we thought there were only 2 of them at first.
Oh my god, that's it. They're reacting. Look at how it's coming together. That energy that's arcing between them, no manufactured material in the settled systems can do that. None of them. This proves...
Easy, girl. Breathe. You'll have a heart attack.
She's not the only one. If they're coming together, that means there's a set.
Built by an intelligence outside the settled systems.
Still 2,000 credits for our little wager, Country?
You're on, Walter.
Well, if we had all the answers, it wouldn't be exciting. Now, would it?
Not to take away from the moment, but what are we going to do about our new friend here?
So, are you ready to get to work? See if exploration is the life you want to lead in this little universe of ours?
Romulan constellation. What does that mean? What's expected of me?
We're all here because we're committed to exploring space. Humanity may have settled the stars, but that doesn't mean we should stop diving into the unknown. Beyond that, you'll be expected to use your own judgment, just like the rest of us.
How much do you know about the artifacts? What are they?
Individually, they're just odd hunks of metal. Another oddity from the uncharted reaches of space. As to what they are, what they're building, well, you'll be part of solving that puzzle now. Fair enough, but you need a place to stay in the city, right? Why don't you settle in here? We owe you that much. Come find me when you're ready. And here, I think you've earned something for bringing the artifact to us. In addition to credits, why don't we set you up with a backpack with some boost capability? You'll need it out in the field anyway. Just mind your head.
Oh. You received 1 skill point to spend every time you level up. Each skill also unlocks a challenge. Complete the challenge and then spend a skill point to rank up the skill. The top row represents basic skills. The rows below are locked until you have spent a minimum number of skill points in that category. Ocean research vessel. Some kind of a tugboat. Maybe not a tug. Too big.
Ask if you've got questions. Speak up if you have ideas. We're all here.
I've
for the
occasionally
same
had
reason.
my doubts about Constellation as an investment. But now, well, it's clearly money well spent.
Are you doing okay? I'm not sure anyone really asked yet. Don't want you to think we're focused on the artifacts and nothing else. You matter too. You've done something really significant bringing that artifact here. I'm Mateo, theological scholar by trade, but now, well, an explorer like you. It's really good to have you with us.
What brought you to Constellation?
Well, there was some overlap in interests. I'd spent years searching for religious relics from human history. I had made a really incredible discovery, only to lose it to a greedy corporation. So I tried to steal it back. In the process, I met Walter. Turned out he owned the corporation. After a long talk, we realized we had a lot in common, and I was invited to join Constellation. I'm not gonna lie, I really wish I could have seen this for myself. It's hard to judge otherwise. Both you and Barrett saw something. I don't think that's a coincidence. Did it feel like it was trying to tell you something? I don't want to necessarily use the words divine revelation, but, you know, if the label fits.
You think this was a religious experience?
Not necessarily, no, but it does kind of have the hallmarks of one, doesn't it? I'm certainly not going to rule it out just yet.
All I know is I've never experienced anything like it before.
That sure lines up with everything else about these artifacts. It's all connected. We're gonna get to the bottom of this. We just need more data, which means more artifacts. Second one was on Kazal, buried the same as the one you found. But the first one, right under our noses for years, sitting in storage, masquerading as an oversized paperweight. Can you imagine potentially the greatest discovery in human history collecting dust?
Believe it or not, I can believe that.
Take care of yourself.
Take note. Everyone here is worth learning from. Yes, even the kid. Well, I suppose calling you a rock breaker may have been a bit out of line.
I've been called worse.
Still doesn't excuse it. My frustrations lie more with Barrett. Not the first time his shenanigans have jeopardized one of our ventures.
Shenanigans.
Not fair of me to take it out on you, especially since it would seem he made the right call this time. So, let's start over, shall we? Walter Stroud, CEO of Stroud Eklund, member of Constellation, and oft-times grumpy old man. Welcome aboard. By the way, in addition to a place to stay, the Lodge has a wealth of modification and research equipment. Spacesuit customization, pharmaceutical manufacturing, testing alien substances, the whole thing. You can even fashion industrial pieces for large-scale projects, if you don't mind extracting a few raw resources from a nearby planet, that is. I'm a fan of self-reliance, so I encourage you to make use of the tools we have to build what you need.
Cool. What kind of company is Stroud Euclid?
We're most well known for ship manufacture. No expense spared. If you want the best and can afford it, you choose Stroud Eklund. Unfortunately, Our success means you'll sometimes see Stroud-Eklund ship modules on less than reputable vessels. They covet them. The bastards. I've tried to convince the United Colonies we can help in that regard, but they're married to Deimos Star Yards, and those old salts are stuck in the glory days.
Well, you know the UC.
Up until very recently, I'd likely have dismissed it as, I don't know, hallucinations. But now, I'm not sure what to think. I don't suppose you have a history of this sort of thing, do you?
Perfectly healthy as far back as I can remember.
I'll take your word on that. I'm no scientist. I leave that to the likes of Barrett and young Noel there. But I think we can all agree there's something unusual going on here. Frankly, this is the most exciting thing that's happened in years.
What do you actually do here?
Me? Why, I'm the wallet. Someone has to fund all this, and all my success in business doesn't mean much if I can't put it to good use. I don't pretend to have the daring of Ms. Morgan, or the smarts of young Mateo, but I can make sure that they have the resources they need. And, as you've now seen, those resources aren't being wasted. We're onto something big here.
So you're a, what's the word? Philanthropist? I think that's the word.
Funny thing about companies, you build one sturdy enough, it doesn't need you there all the time to prop it up. Stroud-Eklund functions quite well on a day-to-day basis, leaving me time to devote to more esoteric pursuits. For years, I was captivated by the writings of Constellation's founder, Sebastian Banks. I finally decided to do something more than admire from a distance, and so now I call the Lodge home, as much as anywhere else. Until next time.
I have to say, I'm quite a fan of Walter
That was
Stroud.
intense, wasn't it? The artifacts, I mean. Sorry, this must all be a little overwhelming for you right now. I guess a lot overwhelming, now that I think about it. I'm Noel. It's really nice to meet you. And thank you for bringing the artifact to us.
Quite welcome. How long have you been working on all this?
Well, Constellation's been around forever, more than 50 years now. But we only became aware of the artifacts recently. Barrett discovered the first one about 2 years ago, right under our noses. And he was the one who got this all in motion. It's a shame he isn't here to see this.
What do you think the vision was?
Oh, right, that. If we're approaching this rationally, I suppose we'd call them visual and auditory hallucinations. What you perceived as lights and music could be overloaded neural input, your brain's attempt to make sense of something. An energy surge, some other phenomenon.
Raw data.
He did. At the time, well, it's Barrett. We weren't sure if he was kidding around. Clearly, he wasn't. Unfortunately, that's what a lot of people report in these situations. I'm not saying you didn't really see anything, just that it's really hard to determine after the fact. That's okay. Now that this has happened to both you and Barrett, we can know to maybe expect it in the future. Be a little more prepared. We're all in this together now, right?
True.
Of course. There's plenty of planets out there that no one has ever set foot on, and everything we learn about them is valuable. We have a board where we post anything specific we're looking for. A type of alien flora or fauna, or a planet with a specific quality, like if it's primed to have life but doesn't yet.
Ah. have a... I guess it's technically a bounty board?
Oh, gosh. No, I mean, that's flattering, but really, we're making this up as we go. Until you arrived, we only had the two, and the vaguest sense that there was something more at work. There's still so much we don't know, and that means a lot of work ahead of us. Well, right now, nothing's off the table. Metallurgical analysis, chemical composition, I'm looking at everything. One thing I'm really trying to improve is my overall database of xenobiology. I don't know if it will help in this case, but the more we know about, well, everything, the better off we are, right? Speaking of, if you're gonna be out there looking for more artifacts, you're bound to come across some interesting specimens. Anything organic, I'd be happy to take it off your hands.
How would an organic resource help learning about an artifact that is clearly not, you know, made of squishy stuff?
I can't be certain that they will, but more data points are always a good thing. I don't want to rule out anything that could provide a breakthrough. And if it sweetens the deal, I can pay. Pretty well, too. Walter's pockets may not be bottomless, but they are pretty deep. Planning on sticking around then? Good. I think we can find a spot for you. And along the way, I can give you the very abbreviated tour.
I hope you're still glad you joined Constellation, Noel.
It's a dream come true, Sarah. You know that.
I'm glad to hear it. You could have done just about anything. So, it's important to me that you feel valued here.
Okay, maybe not every single day is a dream come true. But the work we're involved in, the discoveries we're making, it's all worth it.
Yeah, what is it?
It's been quieter around here ever since Vladimir went to live on the Eye full-time. Anything I can learn from is a help. Stay safe, okay?
I hope you are satisfied with the quarters available to you.
Well, this is mighty finally, damn. Whoa! Bombardment. We're looking for an experienced explorer to locate a planet. Cool. Oh, and that's... okay. Interesting. we've got like a rooftop terrace. Right, well, I think that is where I'm going to end for the evening, as it is now 5 in the morning and I need some sleep. And then when I get up in a couple hours, I'll be back on doing much of the same again. So, yeah. As always, have a good morning, afternoon or evening wherever you are, and tune in next time. Bye.